Hi, and welcome to the SEO Podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWeb Results.
I am Charles Lewis, your client results strategist.
Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our podcast. This is podcast number 381. As always, we do have a tip from our previous podcast, and that tip is make sure social sharing is prominent.
Look, if you spend all this time creating a blog post, writing this great content, make sure that it's easy for people to share. Facebook sharing icons, Digit sharing icons, Reddit sharing icons, Twitter sharing icons should be, at the very least, below that post, preferably above and below it.
Subscribe and follow. Boom. Please remember, well, first, we are filmed live here in Houston, Texas, and Charles and I, we are your friendly local neighborhood
top position snatchers,
and our mantra is
do not be a douche.
Do not be a douche. Hey, I got to jump into a review, really hot review. It says, I love this show, very informative and entertaining, and it is 5 stars. It says Pasty Frog, so that's who wrote the review. Pasty Frog, yeah.
All right.
From the U.S., it says, I've been in the SEO field for 10 years and an agency owner for 4 of them. The podcast is great because they cover the latest topics and updates in the field while also bringing humor and insights. I find myself using Evernote to save some of the best nuggets for follow-up actions.
Evernote right now, right?
Yeah. I switched to OneNote.
Oh.
Yeah, I switched to OneNote. I was using Evernote for our podcast notes, so Evernote's a good product. Punch in the face to you.
Pasty Frog. What agency are you with? Let it know.
Probably Pasty Frog. I mean, it doesn't have it there, but
yeah.
We could probably Google it and find it. So punch in the face to you, Pasty Frog. That's pretty awesome. Speaking of awesome, we have an article for you today.
I want to give a huge punch in the face to Amanda Di Silvestro and the good folks over at Search Engine Journal. She posted this article, 7 ways to convert website visitors into subscribers. So we'll talk about really increasing conversions on your website today.
Conversions are important.
Yes, they are.
If you're in a position to, you have some sort of electronic device, what we're going to ask you to do is tweet now.
Tweet us at eWeb Results and at Best SEO Podcast. This is number 381. Use the hashtag SEO Podcast, and that way we can follow you back and do all of our social networking things. And I'll tell you what, if you're really getting some value out of this podcast, not only tweet it, but tag 3 people, right? Tag 3 people who could benefit from the content that we're about to put in.
Absolutely. If you've listened, this is your first time listening to the podcast, here's the agenda. First, howdy. The agenda is we're covering the potatoes of the podcast. We'll get into the meat here shortly. If you've listened to this podcast before, then you understand why I have it. Wait, no, I don't have a tier tattoo. You understand. You understand that we're about, or why we're about to actually cover how you leave us a review. We run a contest every single week. If we get 10 shikos.
A shiko is an eWeb branded term for social engagement. Stands for shares, likes, and follows. Shiko.
If we get 10 of those and a review, then we don't tell you how to leave us a review. We did not get 10 shikos on any one of our platforms.
Yeah, I saw about 7 follows, and I haven't followed y'all back yet. I will do that.
Yep. So what we will do is tell you how you can leave us a review. This will make sure that we at least get that portion taken care of. We've made it really easy for you to leave us a review. The first one has 3 steps. Go on to iTunes, create an account, write a review. Hopefully you'll make that review 5 stars. Next, go on to Stitcher. We've made it easy to get to Stitcher because we did ewebresults.com/Stitcher. That will take you to our Stitcher page. Hit the 4 stars, and boom, we're off and running.
An educated guess.
Yes. Next is our G+ or Google My Business account. You know, it's so hard to like all the characters, all the numbers.
Yeah, plus.google.com/account/supercalifragilistic cow jumps over the moon.
Yeah.
Real big road.
Hopefully you're not
rainbow.
typing this.
Yeah,
because that's not it. We've actually made it easy for you. It's ewebresults.com/Google
Plus
or
Google Plus, and that's the plus symbol.
Or
G Plus
or
G Plus.
All of those will take you to our Google My Business. Actually, it'll be like a search engine result page and then an actual pop-up where you can leave us that review. Hopefully, you'll make that review 5 stars. And then finally, this is a new one. It's our Yelp account. You can actually go leave us a review at our Yelp account. We've made it incredibly easy. ewebresults.com/Yelp. Also correct. Ding, 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 ding. So you've got all of those ways to leave us a review. And then, of course, there's ways that you can give us shikos. Again, shiko is a share, like, or follow on all the platforms. Those are things like Facebook.com/eWebResults, Twitter.com/eWebResults, YouTube.com/eWebResults, Instagram.com/eWebResults, and LinkedIn.com/company/eWebResults. All of those will take you to our profiles on those platforms. Please do the needful: like, share, follow,
retweet, subscribe, all of the above.
All the good stuff. If you're a PHP genius,
comment is what you can do.
Comment.
We want some engagement. Comment.
Ask a question, right? Ask a question. Try and stump the top position snatchers. See if you can do that. All right, so if you're a PHP genius or a WordPress guru, we're probably looking for you. Go ahead and leave an audio resume, 713-510-7846. If you would like a free comprehensive website profit analysis, you can go to our website, ewebresults.com, and you can click the green button that's there. And then you fill out the form, and we'll get that comprehensive website profit analysis. Do we have any algo cat? I don't think we have
algo cat today.
All right, so let's talk a little bit of news. I just got something, a couple pieces. Facebook and Google are going to participate in the net neutrality protest. Apparently the protest is around the corner, and they are both in favor of net neutrality. So,
They should. They are the two companies making the most money off the internet right now. And so I would if I'm them, I'm totally participating.
We want net neutrality. We don't want you, and it's already, I don't know if the right word is being violated, but the concept is already being broken with mobile devices. So like when a T-Mobile gives no data charge if you're getting their information or getting their music or whatever, that's against the concept of net neutrality. Everybody should be paying the same for all access to all data. I'm in favor of that as well.
So let me ask you this, because one of the best rappers ever, in my opinion, and one of my top three is the homie Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z.
Okay.
Right? So when Jay-Z made the huge deal with Tidal and Sprint.
Right.
His latest album 444 was exclusive to Sprint users through Tidal, right? And it didn't. They were able to get the access to download it and listen to it before anybody else did.
Right.
With that sort of situation being, Sprint providing the data network, the device, and Tidal being the content, that wouldn't fall under a net neutrality agreement.
Unless they said, look, so here's where it would
you can only get it if you're using Sprint data.
No, that's okay too, actually, right? Because it's really their network. Okay. The challenge is if they said, look, if you want to download Jay-Z's song, it's free, right? It doesn't count against your data. Therefore, it's free. Right?
Okay, but if you want to download
anyone else's song, it costs you money. And that's you're the perfect example. That's where Chuck can't afford to pay T-Mobile or whomever, Verizon, whatever he needs to. Jay-Z can, so it puts the small guy at a disadvantage, right? So, and it is pretty cool to see that that both Facebook and Google are against that. Yeah. That's that issue.
All right. I can dig it.
All right, next, there is a service that you can sign. You would actually subscribe your buddy up to it that would text them spoiler alerts for their spoilers.
So alerts, I'm watching Empire, and it's like Lucius got killed. He's like, I like throw my phone. Like, who sent this to me, dude?
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
The good news is it's actually not working very well.
Okay, good.
But man, you have to be one vindictive.
Man, just text people spoilers. Like, I know Chris is watching Stephen Gobert's his show. Right? You watch Colbert. And about to send you Stephen's punchline.
That is wrong. That's like that's way up there with all of the worst possible services.
Yeah,
and they're really bad
spoiling
services.
the show. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Like movie alert.
It's hilarious.
Can you tag people? Oh, they checked in at the movies?
Oh,
he gonna get shot at the end.
Yeah. He's not gonna make it. My bad. You should just
not even my bad. I did that to you on purpose.
Go to the next one. I'll tell you what's gonna happen.
Don't check in, exactly.
And then finally, PhotoBucket. So PhotoBucket is a place you can leave.
And they still exist?
They still exist, and they just screwed almost all of their users. So they went from a free ad-driven, right? So
yeah, I used to use PhotoBucket back in my MySpace days.
Right.
Like in order to configure your MySpace page, customize it, you was uploading graphics to PhotoBucket.
Yep, you put the graphics there, and then they got displayed on MySpace, and then it was somehow ad-driven. So they got rid of the ad-driven model.
Oh, so now it's gated now.
Yeah. So literally, they sent, "Hey, our policy has changed," and then like 4,000 words into the policy, it says there are no more free accounts. They're going to be $399, $399 for the year, or $299. I can't remember which.
And you can't move your old photos.
Yeah. So they didn't tell anyone other than the fact that it's buried in this big contract, and boom, like. So all these people on eBay, like you've screwed my shopping cart.
Because all my images are linking from there.
Yeah. This is bad.
PhotoBucket. Well, you know, they probably realized that...
we should have done... That should be like what news?
Yeah. Well, they just realized had they told everybody, people would have just downloaded all their images and moved on to the next profile.
To the next free one, yeah. So
some of those people, even if a small percentage of them pays that just to get access to their photos, they'll probably come out in the black.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which sucks, by the way, but they'll probably...
Yeah, they really don't deserve a penny of that. And then one last really short review. This is from Carlton Smith, Flagstone Search Marketing in Birmingham, Alabama. It just says, "Roll Tide, y'all." So
Roll Tide?
I think out of Alabama, there's no better compliment like "Roll Tide, y'all."
Yeah.
It's also tied to the sports team that I feel you're struggling with.
I'm gonna respect it. Yeah, you know, I'm like, man, it's hard for me to say Roll Tide, I'm, you know, punching the face to you for tuning in, dude. I ain't gonna create no bad blood, you know.
All right, you got any patifs or?
Yeah, I got one patif. This patif goes out to Lorian Green. Hit us up on Twitter at Lorian Green. She says, "OMG. At eWeb Results is live with an apostrophe. Get your hot and crispy #SEO knowledge."
Yeah, I remember that coming across my screen last.
I was like, hot and crispy. I can dig it.
Sounds delicious.
That's how I feel in H-Town summers.
Yeah, hot and crispy.
You can walk to the store and come back.
And sticky and sweaty and like there's just angry, frustrated, and then freezing once you get inside.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that is the potatoes of the podcast. Oh, we'll do a couple more patifs. We can give a patif to Marcus and Michael Ristoff and Patrick Lopez for tuning in on Facebook Live.
Lopez. My name sounds familiar. Who is Patrick Lopez?
Patrick, he's the DJ.
Okay.
Yep. DJ
Patrick,
out of Miami.
Like we've talked to Patrick before. The name sounds extremely familiar.
Absolutely. Cool. And by the way, you guys who are tuned in on Facebook, if you could go ahead and tweet now at ADISILVESTRO. So that's D Silvestro.
Yeah, D Silvestro.
D Silvestro. We're going to cover his article, 7 Ways to Convert Website.
That's Amanda, her article.
Oh. I'm not sure you should hand this to me because I seem to be screwing it up each time. Yeah. 7 ways to convert.
It says Amanda right there.
Yeah, it does say Amanda right there. 7 ways to convert website visitors into subscribers. Tell her. We're going to tell her that you're listening to us cover her article
right now. She posted a great article, 7 ways to convert website visitors into subscribers. She posted this on Search Engine Journal. She starts off by saying, getting 100,000 visits to your website can feel awesome, but if your conversion rate is low, all that traffic won't do you much good. And she's absolutely right. This is something I've preached over and over and over again for years. We've had that messaging here. If you are in a position, and would you rather ask this question, would you rather get 1,000 visits a month and 9 of them convert and take action? Or would you rather get 100 visits a month, but 35 of them actually take an action?
Hold on, let me make sure we got the math.
1,000 visits, 9 conversions, or 100 visits and like 35 conversions?
I'm going to go with a 35.
Conversions, exactly.
Or maybe I should say 35?
Or what is 35, Charles? You know what I'm saying? Right? And so, but the point is, you want the conversions. Everybody wants the conversions. And she's absolutely right. If your conversion rate is low, then all of that traffic won't do you much good.
Right.
And so she listed 7 ways to help increase those conversions. Number 1. She says create quality content to match search intent. Create quality content to match search intent. She goes on to say that Google really wants to show searchers the content that best matches or answers the intent of that searcher's query. Optimize your content, ladies and gentlemen, is what this is saying. She's saying optimize your content. Make sure whatever page you've written, whether it's some landing page, whether it's some target page, whether it's some blog post, whatever piece of content that is that you're writing, and you want people to eventually to subscribe to more of your content, then the content you do write should be optimized, meaning it should have the right character count. It should have all your main phrases and long tail phrases and keyword topics in there. It should have your call to actions. It should have high quality images and or video. It should have these bullet points. All of these elements comprise a well optimized page. And if you want your content to match the searcher's intent, then you should be providing a highly optimized page to increase your chances of actually matching that intent. Because if you don't optimize it, then you'll likely miss out on the searcher's intent, maybe some of the phrases they were looking for, and your page won't rank. And if they do find it, they won't subscribe because it didn't match their intent. And so the key is to make sure that you're optimizing those pages and not just writing and publishing. Number two, she says use the right CTA, right? You're trying to get people to take an action, then you need to use the right call to action, right? She says the right call to action can be all the difference between having content that your visitors only consume versus content that results in your visitors taking an action that you want them to take. I'll tell you this, use the CTA that complements your sales process, right? So if you understand that bulk of your sales or your new leads, your new clients always start off with like a one-on-one conversation or some sort of meeting of the minds, then your call to action should probably be along the lines of call for a consultation, call for a discussion, complete this form, to schedule a call, that sort of deal, putting in the mindset of this potential client, this lead, that a conversation is next. And so that way, as they begin to take that action, if they're filling out a form, they're kind of filling out this form expecting a conversation. They're calling expecting a consultation. And if that's your call to action, then you're actually getting the action that you want. Now, I'd also
tap the shift key over there. See if that works.
I don't know what I was shifting.
Oh, now we got to sign in. Let's trade places for a second.
And so, but using that right CTA is what will drive the actual conversion that you're looking for. Matter of fact, I even added, and some people disagree with this, I don't, but using multiple CTAs, depending on the page, can kind of determine how people best engage with you. She's talking about subscriptions, and so it's definitely want to have some sort of sign-up form there, right? But maybe you have sales staff or an admin. I recommend having a call CTA, not just your phone number there, but a reason for that phone number to be there, right? A lot of people.
A phone number by itself is not a CTA.
It's not a CTA. Right. It's just a phone number by itself. It needs. Why is this phone number here? You're calling for a free consultation. Call to save money today. Call for 20% off. Call and talk to an expert. Call for a free analysis. Whatever it is, but give people a reason why they're going to call. Same thing with your sales form, your contact form. It should be relative to what your sales process indicates, right? And then your sign-up form for your email, which is what she's focusing on, should be prominent, but it should be positioned in a way that entices people to actually engage. We call it a soft lead capture. Right. Sometimes people may not want to fully commit. They just may want a little bit of information. And so having an email subscription is a way to do that.
Right.
Use the right CTA.
Number three, she says focus on design for subscriptions. And she's talking about the design of like the sign-up box, right? Like when we do those, we tend to, first off, only really do them if the client has an offer attached to it, right? So don't just subscribe to my email list, but download this free hot tub guide and then subscribe to my email list, right? And so that way I'm actually giving you something for your email address. And so she's saying focus on the design. She says making a good choice in the theme of your content is key to attracting visitors and getting them to subscribe. End of the day, you have to make the subscription visually appealing. Right.
Like it has it has to be engaging. You have to not be ugly. You want people to actually look at it for a second because you probably only have a second of their attention, and it needs to captivate their attention. So focus on the design. Don't think that just because you build it and put it there that they will actually use it. Because not if it's ugly and they won't. Then people just won't do it. So you want to make sure that you focus on the design when you're trying to get those subscriptions. See, I'll give you a pro tip here when you're focusing on the design and referencing subscriptions. Try pop-up, like an exit intent pop-up, right? A lot of sites do this extremely well. They work really, really well. It's a softer lead capture, and this happens when people have visited your site. They may be engaged in a couple pages. Now they're about to leave. As soon as their mouse moves past a certain pixel level on the screen, where it's closer to the exit button or closer to the close the browser button, they get the pop-up. And it's using a Lightbox feature. They get a pop-up that says, join my mailing list and get this free guide. Or join my mailing list for 20% off. Or if you're on champs.com, join my mailing list for free shipping, right? Just depending on what your offer is, but using the Lightbox and an exit intent pop-up should see your subscriptions increase.
Absolutely. Number four,
she says use different types of content, right? She goes on to say varying types of content you publish helps you reach different audiences. And she's absolutely right. Like everybody absorbs content differently. Some people look at videos, some people watch images, some people read long Facebook posts, some people read blogs, some people just watch TV. It just depends. Everybody absorbs content different. Then she says use everything you can think of. That can add a different touch to your content every time you publish. Okay, Amanda, I've got a small issue with this one. I get the concept of using multiple forms of content, but I want to encourage our listeners not to use everything you can think of, but use what your resources will allow. Right. What you don't want to do is put out a really crappy video and a really crappy infographic and a really, crappy post and a really crappy image to support your crappy content. It's not going to work. No. It's not going to get the engagement you want, and frankly, it'll probably have a worse effect than it did in never posting it at all. So instead, use the content that your resources will allow. Like if you got enough resources to write a really great blog post and maybe a supporting infographic, then keep it there. And at least you've created some good high quality content that'll go out. Or maybe you have a videographer on staff or whatever it is and they're really good. Then do that. But don't stretch yourself trying to create all this different content if you can't commit to putting out quality content. Her first point was create quality content to match search intent. And so you want to make sure that whatever type of content you're putting out has quality. Because if it doesn't, then it won't get engaged with, it won't rank well, and you will have wasted a lot of time and effort.
Number five,
and I just alluded to this earlier, use light boxes, right? She says using a light box is another excellent way to highlight your CTAs and focus on subscribing. And she's right. And what I was saying was that what that light box really does, it kind of makes you focus for that brief second. You get ready to close and the screen goes black and you get a colorful pop-up, you will look at it. You may not read it all.
You may be looking for the X.
You may be looking for it, like where can I close this at? But you will read it. I'll guarantee you, when you find the X, you will say something like, no, I don't want free shipping. You will address it. You will say, no, I don't want to subscribe. Or
in fact, I like it when the light box actually says you need to click, no, I don't want free shipping.
Exactly, because then you kind of foolish, like,
do I really
want free shipping.
No.
Or do like me. I just left the browser open. I ain't clicked nothing, you know what I'm saying? Just open up a new tab and continue.
I'm not willing to make that commitment now, but I also don't want to take it off the table.
So I'll come back to that browser tab later. You know?
That's awesome.
Hey, I've done that.
Great for time on site, apparently.
I've done it. Yeah, that didn't screw your results. She's like, man, that exit intent pop-up is working. No, it don't take nobody 10 minutes to subscribe. So that's an abandoned tab. Which would probably be a cool report to have.
Like which abandoned tabs,
Exactly. So use light light boxes, because they work, they do draw attention to whatever the subject is, whether it's a pop-up or even a photo gallery. Light boxes in general just tend to work.
Well, and you had talked kind of specifically about exit intent light boxes. There's also light boxes or pop-ups, however you want to phrase it, where as you're going down the content, if you get past a certain threshold,
you get a pop-up at the bottom. Yeah, it's not necessarily a light box, but a different type of pop-up.
Right.
But yeah, those pop-ups work,
yep.
especially when you apply them at the right time. The SEJ does it well. Once you get to the bottom of the article, yeah, you get a pop-up. Subscribe or like this or like that. And so those type of deals work when designed well, when executed properly. They absolutely do.
Number 6.
Number 6. She says, advertise your subscription. Solve problems, right? So if you're going to put this subscription out and you want people to subscribe, then she says you need to advertise it, and the way you advertise it is to solve people's problems. She says that if your content successfully helps those people while also promoting a service or product you sell, then you've kind of hit the conversion jackpot. She says give readers a taste of how to solve a problem, but then ask them to subscribe for more tips. She's absolutely right. Both of these are great tips. Your content must be useful. Right? If you're out there posting content that really has no use, it doesn't address a specific question, problem, or concern, it doesn't provide any value or help someone solve a problem, then they're probably not going to engage with it, and frankly, they won't subscribe. But if you are putting out content that is addressing an issue, that is solving a problem, that is guiding people from one phase to the next phase, then they will likely subscribe, especially if you put the rest of their problem solving behind the gate. Right. And so that's what she's saying. Give readers a taste, punch in the face to ESPN Insider. They do it to me every month.
Are you sure that's not a kick in the shins?
No, it's the only reason it's not a kick in the shins.
Because of great content.
Because of great content. Yeah. If the content was poor, then it would be a huge kick in the shins. But they hit me with the whole article, literally. And I feel like they almost customized that article for me. And I say that because I was, it's free agent deadline right now. Right. And so all these trades are going on in the NBA. And so I'm reading about the trade. The Warriors just picked up Nick Young. I'm reading about this. I'm reading about 3 teams. I get to the Rockets. And then it was like, for more information, I'm like, I've been reading the whole article for this point. And I think they knew that. He's in Houston. Article automatically shifted to the Rockets paragraph at the bottom.
That's not smart.
I know that probably didn't happen, but that would be some cool technology.
If it's not happening, it should be. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, depending on IP address.
You're in Houston,
move this paragraph.
We show everybody, boom, that's where it locks. Yeah.
So if y'all mad, now that's kind of kicking
now you're a little pissed off about it, right?
Yeah, a little bit, if y'all indeed doing that. But the point is, it worked. I subscribed and I read the entire article. And so those type of tactics, those strategies can work when applied effectively. More importantly, if the content has value. If the content didn't have value, no one ever gets to the next step.
Nope.
Last one, number 7. Speaking of content, she says, analyze your content. After all this is said and done, after you've created good content, you use the right CTA, you designed it well, you're using different types, you're using light boxes, you've been advertising it, then she says analyze it, right? She goes on to say measuring how the content you create performs will help you know which methods or topics have worked best and which ones to repeat later. She's absolutely right. She says analyze your content. I'm going to say get familiar with analytics because that's how you analyze your content. You need to get into your analytics so you can look at those pages and determine how much time was spent looking at this page, how many entries to this page, how many people exit your site once they view this page, what traffic source got them to this page, how long did they stay on this page, what device did they view your page on. All of that information is available in analytics, and the more that you understand it, then the better your next set of content can be. For example, maybe you log in and you realize that, whoa, my really, 1,500 word blog post got so much activity. Most of these people found it in a Google search on a mobile device. Right. And they converted at a higher rate than everybody on a desktop, right? Then you say, okay, my next content writer, my next content piece should probably fit the mold of 1,500 words. It should have this. It should have a similar look, feel, tone as the previous article. And if you just don't know how the engagement was, then you don't know what steps you need to do to repeat that level of engagement. Yep. You end up just firing blanks. So instead, spend some time in analytics, understand how that content is performing, how people are subscribing, what's working, what's not, and then as you create new content, rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Man, punch in the face to you, Amanda G. Silvestro, and the 7 ways to convert website visitors into subscribers. Great article. I can dig it.
Excellent. All right. Any what news?
Yeah. I got one piece of what news, and this is just really a punch in the face to Search Engine Journal. This what news goes to Danny Goodwin. Congratulations. He was he was an author,
right,
and creating posts at Search Engine Journal. Punch in the face to Kelsey Jones. She was the senior chief editor,
right,
executive editor, chief executive editor,
right.
And she stepped down. She stepped down. Danny kind of stepped into place, began editing all of the posts people are submitting, and Search Engine Journal rewarded him by naming him Chief Executive Director.
All right.
So, punch in the face to you. Congratulations.
That's pretty awesome.
We've done like 6 of his articles over the past 2 years.
And so now they'll all be his articles because he'll have at least have his touch on them, right?
Exactly.
All right. So if you like this podcast, we're going to ask you to do something different today. If you like this podcast, we're going to ask you to submit a question. We want you guys to submit questions. We want to answer your questions in our podcast, right? So we'll obviously give you a punch in the face. And you can do that by sending an email to podcast@ewebresults.com. And so, yeah, go ahead and submit those questions. They can be anything. They can be like website design. They can be pay-per-click. They can be search engine optimization. They can be social media. Go ahead and submit those questions. If you're looking to grow your business with the largest, simplest marketing tool on the planet,
the internet,
go ahead and give eWebResults a call for increased revenue in your business. Our phone number is 713-592-6724. We actually have a program called Instant Leads. Guaranteed. This is a highly optimized
That's an echo for y'all who were just wondering what was that.
It doesn't actually say Instant Leads on the page where we promote the product. It is a highly optimized pay-per-click campaign. The reality is people are searching for what you do or sell. And there's ways to get ads in front of the people who are looking for what you do or sell. Those ads should have an offer in them to convince them to click through because you have what they do or sell and there's a reason to click through. And when they land on that page, they're looking at what you do or sell and the offer that they just clicked, and so they should convert. That's what Instant Leads
is all about.
He's going to fill the gap or whatever. That's what Instant Leads guaranteed does.
Yeah.
Excellent. If you're in Houston and you're doing business networking, first, if you own a business, you should be. Second, you need to go to upsocialnetwork.com and join me at the next event. And then finally, if you're looking for a transcript, a video, or a podcast of this, transcript, video, or audio of this podcast, then it's available on our website, ewebresults.com. We were filmed here live at 5999 West 34th Street, Suite 106, Houston, Texas, 77092. You guys have made us the most popular internet marketing podcast on iTunes. Thank you all over. We've been downloaded in more than 100 countries. Thank you, all you people from outside the U.S. Thank you, all you people from inside the U.S. Just thank all of you.
Everybody.
Until the next podcast, my name's Chris Burris.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.